जिंदाबाद अपनी MSO जिंदाबाद 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 अपनी MSO जिंदाबाद.
It's not with the Faculty of Engineering, so you can find a chance to proceed your postgraduate study either with Faculty of Engineering or Computer Science. So if you can find a research lab in Faculty of Engineering related to your field, even if you are a graduate from Computer Science, maybe it will be better for you because the ranking of Faculty of Engineering is higher than the ranking of Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology. The field of renewable energy is a hot topic here in Malaysia. So usually solar power is really well studied and well funded. So it's not only a public funded research, but also the industry is so willing to fund research in renewable energy. So as the field of renewable energy is active, so is industrial electronics. So if you are interested in industrial electronics, you have a really good chance of finding good labs, but you will search to find renewable energy labs first, then you will find your chance to pursue your interest in industrial electronics because it is linked subject. So as Hassan said, if you start your master by research, you have a good chance to continue your PhD and have a chance to continue your PhD. One option is to finish your master and write a thesis, and the second option is after 1 year, if you submit a paper, the supervisor could apply for you to continue PhD, and you will get only a PhD degree without a master degree. On supervisor selection, usually in Faculty of Engineering, you need to choose 2 supervisors. So you should be careful that find one supervisor and your supervisor will suggest a co-supervisor, or later you will add a supervisor. But don't search for 2 supervisors at the same time. So search for one, and the supervisor, the senior supervisor, will advise you who you should cooperate with or who is the second supervisor, because usually the supervisor are working in labs together. So if you reach a supervisor, he will or she will advise you to select a co-supervisor or second supervisor. So now it is a requirement from the university to have 2 supervisors for all research students. Also for the grants, for my master degree, I get a grant from the FRGS grant, which will provide you with some allowances during your studies, but as an international student, you cannot get a tuition fee waiver from the FRGS, so you should be careful. If you get this grant, you will pay your tuition fee, but you will get some allowances to help you pursuing your research. Uh, Another note is when you are working in a research university, it's helpful to try to find and collaborate with other students, because you are surrounded with labs, even from different fields and interests. But usually you can find help and you can have a good discussion and common research interest from other labs, even from different department or different. So it's usually helpful to find who is doing research similar to my research and try to have a connection to other students working at the department or at the faculty or even at the university in overall, but usually it will be in the within the faculty. Uh, uh, for usually for people who are doing master by research and PhD, it will not be easy. So I think on average, people will take 4 years to graduate from PhD in UM. So it is, you should keep in mind that on average, it will take 4 years to graduate from with PhD degree. You need to publish 2 papers in order to submit your thesis and graduate. So you should keep that in mind and stay active and go to the lab every day while you are candidate. Even if you don't have a progress, only you should go and continue going. Even if there is no progress, you need to have this period during your research without a progress, but you need to keep going to the lab, see students, see other supervisor, see other professor to get advice to see what is the problem and continue your research. So every student, I think, will, every research student will face a time when there is no progress, and but what you need to do is to continue doing research, to do literature review, or to find somebody to ask what is the problem and how can I solve it. Finally, I want to talk about my experience and visa. So when I came to Malaysia, I came without a visa, which was a big mistake from myself. So I came to Malaysia without a visa, and then they've asked me to travel, and I traveled out and came back. When I submit my passport, the visa unit took the passport for 1 year, and I did not get a visa. Then after 1 year, the immigration department asked me to travel out again and apply to a new application for a visa. So I forced to stop my study, travel outside Malaysia for 5 months in order to cancel my old visa, start a new visa, and get the new application approved. So you should be focused that you cannot come to Malaysia unless you have the visa and unless you follow all the procedure as provided by EMGS. And also another note, all the information or the correct information about visa will be from EMGS. It's not from your universities. So the universities usually have an idea about the rules and regulation in Malaysia, but who is doing the visa is EMGS. So you should follow the instruction of EMGS and you should get all your information from EMGS. So whenever you have any problem with visa, you should call EMGS. Don't rely only on the information provided by your university. Try to follow up with the EMGS. So on that note, I think I finish and Mr. Ammar can start speaking.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will be speaking today about private universities and the social science perspective, more specifically in terms of studying in Malaysia. So at first, my name is Ammar Mustafa. I am doing a master's degree by coursework at Heriot Watt University, which is a foreign university in Malaysia. The program being coursework, it means that you have a set of classes that you attend and certain tests, and then you have a small research project afterwards. So the type of programs that you have in private or foreign or partnership universities, you have, in terms of postgraduate studies, master's program, PhD program, and postgraduate diplomas. Even in public universities, you also have postgraduate diplomas. So for the master's programs, you have also 3 options, as elaborated before by Brother Hassan. You have coursework, master by coursework, master by research, and mixed mode, which is, that means you do classes, you have your coursework in classes, and then you do a more prolonged research project. So this is something to keep in mind when applying. There are pros and cons to taking each route. For PhD, you have research mode, and then mixed mode, which is you mostly do research and then you do a little bit of coursework, which is around a few courses, whereas in research you have to do only 1 course of the courses. There is a third type of PhD programs, which is the industrial placement, but unfortunately I don't believe this is very easy for an international student. This is mostly oriented towards local students who are supposed to work in certain industries and earn their PhD by experience. The postgraduate diplomas can be found in many fields. In terms of social science, you will most likely see something like the human resources postgraduate diploma is very popular, and things of this nature. The private research universities, which means a private university that has a significant amount of funding allocated for research. That usually means that is a university that is that is a recipient of public grants from the government given towards research funding according to certain priorities. Of those, perhaps the most impressive in terms of research funding as a private university is the University Technology Petronas. University Technology Petronas ranks around 439 on the QS University ranking. It means it's a highly ranked, respected university. However, it has a remote campus, so you should keep that in mind, that it's a bit far from the capital and far from close city urban centers. It is also more affordable, perhaps due to being far. Is more affordable than same tier universities. It's a very good university, mostly known for oil and gas, but has other topics. Not much in the social sciences. There are other private universities that are listed in global rankings, and these are examples of the private universities. These are Malaysian universities from the ground up that are listed in the global rankings. These examples include UCSI, Sunway University, UTAR, MMU, University Tenaga Nasional, Taylor's University, and MSU. The universities vary in terms of specialties. Different universities have different focus. However, maybe one of the oldest ones is UTAR. The other type of university that I will be talking about is foreign universities. That means it is a foreign university campus that exists in Malaysia. It's like a branch from that university that is managed by the original university in the original country. You have Australian universities such as Monash University, Curtin, and Swinburne. As you can see, they are in different places. So Monash is in Kuala Lumpur. However, Curtin and Swinburne are on the other side of Malaysia, on the Peninsula Malaysia, and then the other side, and it would be in Sarawak. Foreign universities also, you have British universities, the University of Nottingham, Newcastle University of Medicine, University of Southampton, Heriot-Watt University, and University of Reading. As you can see, they also have, from the names, for example, Newcastle is mostly focused on medicine. Southampton, I believe, is focused on engineering. Heriot-Watt is focused on oil and gas. So they have different interests. Other foreign universities, there is a university from the People's Republic of China, and a university from Ireland that's focused on medicine. Potential advantages and disadvantages in terms of private, foreign, and public. Private universities may be more focused on coursework. You would want to do a coursework program if you feel like you want to do a very specific thing that is taught during these courses immediately after you leave. It is possible to pursue your PhD after a coursework program. However, a PhD from a research program might be easier for you to make the transition. You can also check about your own undergraduate education. If you feel your undergraduate education was strong in a certain, in the same field, then you can say, I have had enough coursework. I don't want more coursework. However, if you feel like there can be something new to learn, then this can be an opportunity to do more coursework and have more of these personal interactions with professors in a classroom that might be useful to, might seem more useful to you. So it is a very personal, and it depends on each person, their preferences and what they need out of the masters and out of education in general. With private and foreign universities, there are perhaps less research grant opportunities than public research universities, as the ones mentioned by Brother Hassan, so like UM and USM and IIUM and these universities. It is usually have a higher tuition fee. However, the exception could be made for some universities, such as UTAR and UTP, the one I mentioned. Foreign universities have sometimes a certain reputation in different countries. So, for example, Monash University or Nottingham universities, they have a certain international reputation. And there are graduates from these universities already in different places that makes a certain program graduating from such a program, it might make it more easily accessible to employment. So there is this pro. Foreign universities have